Long before the pharaohs raised their mighty pyramids along the Nile, there stood another civilization, older, quieter, and almost erased from history, a city of pyramids, but not in Egypt. Hidden deep in the Peruvian desert, 1,000 years before the first Egyptian stone was ever laid, the people of Caral built monumental pyramids, vast plazas, and intricate temples without war, without weapons, and without a written language. How did they do it, and why did they vanish? Tonight, we uncover a story that rewrites the beginning of civilization itself. This is Caral, the forgotten pyramid city. In the barren Supi Valley of Peru, the wind carries secrets from 5,000 years ago. Archaeologists once believed that civilization began only in Mesopotamia and Egypt, but in 1948, a Peruvian archaeologist named Paul Kosak stumbled upon a strange shape in the sand, a mound too symmetrical to be natural. Decades later, it revealed itself as one of the oldest pyramids in the world. Caral, a city older than the pyramids of Giza, built around 2600 BC, thrived when Egypt's first pharaohs were still learning to write their names. Yet here, in total isolation, a society rose with architecture, astronomy, and art, but no evidence of war. How could a civilization so advanced exist in peace? Caral was vast, spanning over 150 acres. 6 pyramids stood at its heart, surrounded by circular amphitheaters, residential zones, and sacred temples. Each structure aligned with celestial events, the rising of stars, the solstices, the rhythm of the cosmos. The people of Caral lived by the pulse of the universe. They built without iron, without wheels, without beasts of burden, only with intelligence and unity. No weapons were found, no fortifications, no signs of violence. It was as if they existed in an age before conflict itself, a civilization built not for conquest, but for connection. Their music echoed across the desert, flutes made from condor bones, drums of animal skin. They played not for entertainment, but for ritual, for the gods of wind and water. Every note was a prayer, every stone a message. But who were these people, and where did they learn to build pyramids so precise, so perfect? Some believe Caral was the mother of all American civilizations, the blueprint from which the Incas, the Nazca, and the Mayans later evolved. Others whisper of an even older connection, a forgotten link between continents. Because when you compare Caral's pyramids to those in Egypt, you find haunting similarities. Stepped structures, ceremonial plazas, astronomical alignment, and sacred geometry. But there's no evidence of contact. Separated by oceans, yet united by design. Did humanity simply think alike, or did a lost global culture once exist long before recorded history? Caral had advanced knowledge of irrigation, mathematics, and architecture far beyond its time. They cultivated cotton for fishing nets, traded with distant coastal tribes, and built complex economies. Yet they left behind no written word, no legends, no gods carved in stone, only silent ruins whispering across millennia. Around 1800 BC, Caral began to fade. The river dried, the trade routes vanished, and so did its people. They didn't leave destruction, only abandonment, like a civilization that simply walked away from history. But why? Did the gods abandon them, or did they know something we have yet to understand? Some theories suggest environmental collapse, others point to cosmic cycles or climate shifts. But perhaps, just perhaps, Caral wasn't meant to last forever. Maybe it was a message, a symbol carved into the earth to remind us that peace, not war, was once the foundation of civilization. Caral challenges everything we think we know about the birth of civilization. It proves that greatness doesn't begin with conquest, but with harmony. That a people without armies, without kings, without greed, can still shape monuments that outlast empires. When we look at the pyramids of Egypt, we see power. But when we look at the pyramids of Caral, we see wisdom. A civilization forgotten by history, yet older than Egypt, older than legend itself, whispers to us even now. Humanity once knew peace. And maybe we can, again. If this story makes you question what else we've been told about our past, you're not alone. Subscribe to Unveil Archive, because there are more truths buried beneath the sands of time, waiting to be uncovered. When historians talk about the first civilizations, they always mention Egypt and Mesopotamia, yet Caral existed at the same time, and in some ways, even earlier. In Egypt, pyramids were tombs for kings, symbols of power and control. In Mesopotamia, ziggurats reached for the heavens to please angry gods. But in Caral, pyramids were not graves. They were temples of life, built for balance, music, and harmony with nature. The Egyptians worshipped death. The people of Caral celebrated existence. Their pyramids lacked any hieroglyphs, no gold, no depictions of rulers, only staircases leading upward, perhaps symbolizing the connection between the earth and the sky. It wasn't about domination, it was about elevation. Caral showed advanced urban planning long before cities were common. Residential zones separated from sacred areas, irrigation canals perfectly aligned with the terrain, and trade systems connecting hundreds of kilometers of desert and sea. While Egypt needed the Nile to thrive, Caral tamed an unforgiving land with pure ingenuity. They built paradise in the desert without slaves, without steel, without war. Could Caral have been the world's first experiment in peaceful civilization? If so, what does that say about us now, thousands of years later, still building monuments not for harmony, but for power? For centuries, Caral lay forgotten, swallowed by sand and silence, until recently, when drone technology and LiDAR scanning revealed something extraordinary. What seemed like a single city was only the beginning. Around Caral, researchers discovered dozens of other pyramid complexes connected by ancient roads, hidden under layers of desert dust. Some align perfectly with star constellations: Orion, Sirius, the Pleiades, just like the Great Pyramids of Giza. Coincidence or connection? New carbon dating places some of these sites as early as 3200 BC, making them potentially older than Egypt's first step pyramid. Archaeologists recorded strange acoustic properties within Caral's amphitheaters, a design that amplifies music and voice in a way eerily similar to modern concert halls. They say when you stand there at night, the wind sings through the ruins, as if the city itself remembers. Some local legends even speak of light beings who came from the stars, teaching early humans how to build in harmony with the earth. Theories dismissed by science, but whispered among those who feel that Caral's energy is not of this world. Whether born of man or something beyond, Caral reminds us that history is not a straight line, but a circle, looping through time, waiting to be rediscovered. Maybe Caral was never meant to be remembered through books or kings. Maybe it was meant to be rediscovered by us now, when the world has forgotten how to live in peace. In the silence of those ancient pyramids lies a message. Humanity once reached greatness without war. And perhaps the true beginning of civilization didn't start in Egypt, but in a forgotten valley of Peru, where music, stars, and stone once spoke the same language. This is the story of Caral, a civilization older than Egypt, and a reminder that maybe the past isn't behind us. It's waiting to be unveiled.